Hello everybody, Ragtag Sagvy here. Welcome to the next episode. In the last episode, last set of episodes, we took on the Melee Gym. And then once we were done, we were forced to battle Minerva outside the gym. Ooh, Mifo outbreak. That's pretty good. Anyway, let us return to the school. Because it's time for class. And then I think, so we should be starting our next set of classes. And I think after the next two gyms will be the final set of classes. So not much is left of school left. What class would you like to take part? Let's do biology. Like to take biology with Mr. Jock. Hello. I hope everyone's ready to learn some new things today. You all did great on the midterm exam. Thanks for answering my little question at the end, too. I'll be sure to keep your responses in mind. Alright, now we're heading into the last half of our classes together. It's time for our knowledge to evolve and grow, just like our Pokémon. Evolution, yep! Haha, evolution. Today, we're going to learn about the fascinating phenomenon of Pokémon evolution. As your Pokémon battle and level up, they learn moves and get stronger. And for some Pokémon, once they level up enough, their appearance changes and their stats increase, sometimes by a lot. That's Pokémon evolution. Pokémon become very strong when they evolve, making them trusty partners in battle. But some people prefer to keep their Pokémon in their adorable pre-evolved states. To do this, you just need to remember a certain button when your Pokémon begins to evolve. Say it with me if you already know. To cancel evolution, you press the C button! I don't think there's a C button on this Pro controller here. It might take me a while to find, but I'm pretty sure it is the B button. That's right, everyone. E for the best answer. The button that you want on when you need to stop a Pokemon from evolving is the B button. If you press this button as soon as the Pokemon begins to evolve, you can stop it from changing. I believe the one exception to this rule is trait evolutions, as you are forced to go through them, unless the Pokemon is holding an Everstone. He even mentions this item right here. You can also let the Pokemon hold an item known as an Everstone to keep it from evolving. And keep it in mind that the requirements for evolution differ from Pokemon to Pokemon, as some may evolve by having a certain item, such as a Firestone or Thunderstone used on them. Others may have a specific move or defeat a specific Pokemon in battle to evolve. The way Primate evolves into Annihilate is especially strange. You see, there's a certain move that... Whoops, sorry, looks like we ran out of time. So there's your hint about evolving Primate. Guess we'll have to end class there today. Thank you all for your attention. Let's take our next class. Class will begin soon. Hello. I hope everyone's ready to learn some new things today. But before we get going, do you all remember the final question from our midterm exam? Well, Director Clairvaux found out about it somehow, and I got yelled at. Whoops. Apparently he could tell I was hiding something just by looking at me. He must have noticed all the color flashed right out of my face. Ace. Speaking of color, today I'll teach you all about the colors as they are pertinent to Pokemon. Some Pokemon have slightly different coloration or patterns on their bodies, based on their gender or individual preferences. Or differences, I meant. In very rare cases, a Pokemon may have widely different colors compared to the others of the same species. We call these specimens shiny Pokemon. And here is Pokemon actually acknowledging the term shiny, because I think in the longest time it was more of a fan term, and then Pokemon adopted it being an official term. I think they did something similar in Arceus too, where they actually officially call shiny Pokemon as shinies. It is quite rare to cross paths with one. Yeah, Jock, how about you take a look at my 5 or 6 shinies I've caught in this playthrough so far? Does anyone here know what the likelihood of finding a shiny is? And here's the base odds, in case you were wondering. It is 1 in 4,000. And believe it or not, I think it was until it was either 5th or 6th gen, I think it was like around 6,000. Wow, that's right. You may have the makings of a Pokemon professor, Donnie. Shiny Pokemon appear at a rate of 1 in 4,000. Isn't that amazing? Probability of encountering one in the wild is the same as hatching one from an egg too. Eggs from a pair of Pokemon raised around different languages are a special case. There's a higher than average chance that a shiny Pokemon will hatch from these eggs. Talking about the Masuda method. But we haven't been able to figure out why that is just yet. I've also heard rumors of a charm that increases the likelihood of you finding shinies. Voice crack. When you have it in your bag. Can you believe that? This charm can't be scientifically verified, but it sure would be fun if it were true. Whoops, there goes the bell. That's all for today. Thank you for your attention. Alright, let's do math. Math with Miss Trime. Hello everyone, well done on your midterm exam. Some of you earned perfect scores, and others seem to have a bit of trouble, but I can tell that you all tried your best. I'm quite pleased to say that every last one of you passed. I can only assume this means that you all have come to love numbers. Stay sharp and try your best for the rest of my classes too. Speaking of staying sharp, do you know how the world applies to Pokemon battles? That's right, it has to do with stat boosts. Pokemon stats can raise and fall throughout the course of a battle, correct? For example, if a Pokemon uses the move Work Up, its attack and special attack will be raised by 1 of each stage. And as you may know, each time a Pokemon attack or special attack raises by 1 stage, moves affected by that stat will deal 50% more damage. If the Pokemon of that if that same Pokemon from the previous example were to use Work Up again, both its attack and special attack will be risen by 2 stages total. This results in a 100% increase to damage dealt by making the moves twice as strong. Swords Dance, on the other hand, boosts the attack by 2 stages at once, allowing Pokemon to deal double damage just after a single use. Using Swords Dance twice would boost the Pokemon's attack stages by 4 stages. How much more damage would this Pokemon deal? It would deal triple damage. Wow, that's great! You answered this difficult question with ease, Donnie. Each stage of the Pokemon attack or special attack stat is increase its damage by 50%. So by raising 4 stages, the result will be 4 times 50%, or 200% and increase. The damage base of the move is 100%, so adding 200% gives us 300%. In other words, the next move the Pokemon uses will deal triple damage. Type matchups, critical hit damage, and other factors all come into play in these calculations as well. So even a small boost might be taken seriously. By the way, if a stat simply rose, that means it's gone up by 1 stage. If it rose sharply, then that's 2 stages. and if it rose drastically, that's freeze stages. So just so you know that X attack and X special attack items, which are the only can be used in battle, can use to simply sharply boost those respective stats. Oh my, is that the bell? I suppose that's all for now. What a shame. Today is a lesson but a little difficult, so be sure to review what you've learned today, what you learned in order to stay sharp. I'll see you all next time. Let's take Math 5. Hello everyone, let's have a fun class today. Did you make sure to review last class material in order to stay sharp? I know it's a little difficult with all the talk of multiplication and percentages and the like, but today we will be talking about percentages again to learn about probability. That may sound like we are going to have another difficult class, but did you know that all of you have already dealt with the probability of a regular basis? Pokemon moves generally have a probability called accuracy, which determines the probability that the move will hit. The accuracy of Tackle is 100, or 100%, so if you were to use Tackle 100 times, you could expect it to hit all 100 times. The move Hypnosis, which puts the opponent to sleep, has an accuracy of 60, or 60%. That means you could expect it to hit 60 times in 100 uses. To put that another way, out of 100 uses, you could expect it to miss 40 times. Many of the truly powerful moves often tend to have lower accuracy. So when you're deciding whether to go slow and steady with moves that are short of hits, or hard and fast with stronger but less accurate moves, you're already studying probability. Let me see here, perhaps Surf and Hydro Pump would be a good example for this discussion. Surf has a power of 90, and its accuracy is 100, meaning you can expect it to hit it every time. Hydro Pump is only 80, but when it hits, its power is 110. So between Surf and Hydro Pump, which move would you want to use for yourselves? Depends on the situation, as this actually has no wrong answer. Oh my, I see you're always considering various possibilities, Donnie. I may have made it sound like that there was a correct answer here, but there's not. You are free to use any moves you wish. Factors like PP or a number of targets hit may take some moves more suited to certain situations. However, the trading accuracy for power or vice versa is purely a matter of perspective. Surf vs Hydro Pump debate has been ongoing for quite some time. Personally, I'm more interested in debating the Rock-type move, Rock Slide and Stone Edge. Let me tell you, I could really get worked up about talking about those moves, but... oh my, there's the bell. What a shame. Next class will be our last time together, so show up 100% and ready to go. Let's take on history. Greetings, my little students. Whatever you did yesterday is now a part of history. I was hoping to continue unraveling the marvels that history has presented to us today. However, I imagine your ability to concentrate has been spectacularly derailed by my midterm. I suppose changing things up for fun and variety may be a good idea every now and then. So allow me to tell you an old fairy tale that has been passed down in Paldea for generations. Once upon a time, there was a king that very much enjoyed collecting treasure. He was practically fond of the... Excuse me. He was particularly fond of treasures from other countries. One day, the merchant from the east heard rumors of this king and came to meet him. The merchant laid out 4 treasures in front of the treasure-loving king. The 4 treasures was as follows: a vassal, a sword, a set of tablets, and a set of beads. Seeing such rare beauties before him, the king leaped for joy. He showered the merchant with gold coins and claimed all 4 of the treasures for himself. Ah, perfect timing to make eye contact, young Donnie. Answer me this. I said one of the treasures was a set of tablets. What do you think these were? Wooden planks, handheld electronic devices, which I somehow doubt, or medicine you can chew, wooden planks for writing on. Correct. Your daily pursuit of knowledge serves you well. These particular tablets were wooden and used as a writing medium in the East in ancient times. As you may know, they found out popularity use as paper became more universally available. For the king to consider these paper substitutes treasures, they must have been superb quality. That, or perhaps they had some amazing profound teachings written on them. So the king attained these 4 treasures, and on that very night, it is said that a terrible disaster rained down upon his castle, reducing it to rubble by dawn. Oh ho, is it that time already? I wasn't done with my story, but alas, so ends today's session. If you're interested in how the story ends, you may come see me outside of class hours. Take History 5. Greetings, my little students. Whatever you did yesterday is now a part of history. Today we'll continue to unravel the marvels that history has presented to us. I trust you all remember our lesson before the midterm exam concerning the Great Crater of Paldea and its interior, Area Zero. This mysterious crater has captured the imaginations of many, including the former Paldean emperor. 200 years ago, a group of explorers claimed to have finally reached its depths. The name of the team was archived, this great feat of the Area Zero expedition. The team is said to have been made up of Paldea's best and brightest. Skilled battlers, brilliant researchers, talented individuals of all kinds. Among the list of team members was the name of a man who was the author of the brilliant natural historian, Heath. After returning from the expedition to Area Zero, he used his literary talent to record the events and of the expedition and publish them. Ah, perfect timing to make eye contact, young Donnie. Let me see if you were paying attention. What was the name of the team that first made it to the deepest reaches of the Great Crater? The Area Zero Adventurers? The Area Zero Survey Corps? That sounds like that would be an awesome name if we ever get a game, like a Legends game set in Paldea, to explore Area Zero. But it is the Area Zero Expedition. Correct. To pick up and remember a term that I simply slipped into the flow of the lecture. You are really quite the clever one. The correct name of this team was the Area Zero Expedition. The records of their activities have been written by the expedition member Heath can be found in the bookstores and the like even today. This record is known as the Violet Book. At the time, the entire region of Paldea was absolutely buzzing about Area Zero. The Violet Book was so popular that practically everyone had a copy. However, the book itself was full of fantastical descriptions and illustrations of things that could never be thought of as real. The masses began to call Heath a liar. Even the truth of the expedition making it to the bottom of the crater was called into question. The Violet Book was condemned and to the shelves of the used bookstores, just as another book of wild paranormal stories. There's a copy on one of the bookshelves on the ground floor of the ground entrance, Feel free to read it if you are interested. Oh ho, is it that time already? I must have gone swept up by filling your minds with knowledge. This ends today's session. We will unravel more of the history's enigmas together next time. Time for languages. With Mr. Salvatore. How do you like the midterm exam? You all did really great. We are halfway there, and now our time for another lesson. Elizabeth, are you ready? Oish! Trisbunded response! Great answer! Mercy, my friends! I knew I could count on your stars. Leading up to the midterm, we learn all sorts of words from different regions. Starting today, though, I will be throwing a curveball for the beginning in listening comprehension. Thus, I go for it, my assistant, Pikachu. As you just heard, Pikachu can also use words to communicate. It is not always easy for us to understand them, but their words have meaning just as ours do. Pokemon use their language to share all kinds of information with each other, like the location of food, or whether there may be predators nearby. The same Pokemon's cries may sound different depending on what it wants to say. I'm sure you're all curious, so Avaldu Ohuri. Today, that is, let's learn some Pokemon languages. Jitsi Parai, if you would be so kind, Pikachu. What emotion do you suppose Pikachu was trying to convey just now? He was trying to convey anger. Miladelix, Donnie! Correct! Guess we should call you Professor. When Pikachu says, it is using its angry voice. That's right. I had my little Pikachu friend here pretend to be angry for us. Don't you think he did a great job? Give Pikachu a round of applause, everyone. The same Pokemon can communicate its feelings in many different ways. Their voices change depending on their mood and physical condition. Try listening more carefully to Pokemon, you might gain a deeper understanding of them. That having been said, Pokemon are quite mysterious creatures. Some actually don't communicate with words at all. But instead use things like electromagnetic or ultrasound waves. Some even use telepathy. Now, out of prose of nothing, let me give you all my wise words of advice. If you poke at your Pokemon too many times while washing them during picnics, they will get mad at you, like Pikachu just demonstrated. Well, aladoos, who's meridachi, ele bebazidese. See you later, everyone. Take languages once more. My dear friends, how are you all today? I hope you are doing marvelously well. It is time for another Salvatore's language lessons. Pets, are you ready? Oish! I would expect no less from my excellent friends. Even your replies to my questions are excellent. Today, we will once again begin focusing on listening. Thus why go for it, my assistant Pikachu. As you may remember from our last class, The Pokemon cries may sound different depending on what they want to say. Aladu Haduri. Today, that is, we will be learning more about the language used by Pokemon. Jitrin Prim, if you would be so kind, Pikachu. That sounds a little bleak, doesn't it? Its voice seems a little lower pitched, too. What emotion do you suppose Pikachu is trying to convey just now? Sadness. Ding ding ding! That's right, Donnie! Fancy teak! When Pikachu says... It's expressing sadness. Kind of makes you want to cry, doesn't it? That's right, I had my little Pikachu cry as if it was crying. Ha ha ha! Funny joke, right? Don't you think you did a great job? Give Pikachu a round of applause, everyone! And now, utter props of nothing, let me give you all one of my wise words of advice. If you hear one of your Pokemon making sad noises like this one, you should treat them with even more kindness than usual. Well, you probably already knew that, though a piece of cake egg for you all, I am sure. Of course, this goes to your classmates and others as well. Friends should support each other in times of sadness. I truly hope you all can have smiles on your faces all the time, my friends. Opportunities occurred. Next lesson, that it is, will be our final lesson together. I hope you are ready for the climactic final. Aradus Meridachi. Let's take battle studies. Another day, another round of battle study. Oosh, let's get right to it. You all gave it everything you had on the midterm exams. Well done. We are resuming our regular classes today, so keep up the energy for the second half of the term. Have you all been using the R button to send out your Pokemon? If you do, your Pokemon will run off in the direction you are facing. It's a super useful tactic to let your Pokemon pick up faraway items for you, and that's not all. If there are wild Pokemon near where you send your Pokemon, they'll start battling each other. We call those battles auto battles. Just as the name implies, your Pokemon will act on its own during the auto battle, meaning you won't have to give it any commands. And if your Pokemon wins, it gets experience points, just like it would in a regular battle. However, what she does not mention is that you gain less compared if you actually fought the Pokemon yourself. If you make good use of these battles, you can be really efficient way to train your party. But you'll want to remember that the Pokemon won't evolve or learn new moves right away if they level up from an auto battle. Also, if a Pokemon loses an auto battle, it will come back with just a small amount of HP left. Make sure you heal up right away. Whoops! I just about the whole class as one-sided lecture. Does anyone have any questions so far? Can I catch wild Pokemon in auto battles? If you let your Pokemon battle on its own, it's going to keep going until the opponent's defeated. If you want to catch a wild Pokemon, you'll need to either battle by issuing commands instead. Even during auto battles, our Pokemon are out there battling for us, their trainers. Keep an eye out on them as much as possible. If it looks like they're going to lose, be sure to have them retreat. Also, this goes without saying, but a Pokemon with low HP are already worn out. They probably won't enjoy auto battles as much, so don't work them too hard, okay? In conclusion, auto battles will only work if the trainer and their Pokemon have a relationship of mutual trust. Be smart with how you use auto battles so you don't lose that trust of your Pokemon. Aw man, and I'm just about to suggest we do some hand-on practice to really drive the point home. But I guess we ran out of time as usual. Class is over for now. Take care, you little rascals. One of the few classes where there is no correct answer. I might add, let's go for Battle Studies 5. Another day, another round of battle study. Oosh! Let's get right to it. I hope you gave auto battles a shot like we all talked about last class. Making good use of auto battles will let you train up a bunch of different Pokemon. It's also an efficient way to gather the Pokemon materials you need to make TMs at TM machines. Speaking of which, have you all been using the TM machine? I sure hope so, cause it's pop quiz time! To create TMs, you need Pokemon materials, and one other thing. Anyone remember what that is? That is LP, HP, money, LP. Looks like you're already a TM machine pro, new kid. The correct answer is League Points, or LP for short. You give LP in Pokemon materials to the TM machine to create the TM, but that's not all. You can also exchange Pokemon materials at the TM machine to get LP. I recently heard about some shady individuals getting LP illegally using a technique called hacking or something like that. I don't want any of you getting involved in bad stuff like that. Got it? Anyway, you can also add TMs you want to make on your watch list. Yes, and this will let you keep an eye on the materials you need to gather. In conclusion, in order to make TMs, you need Pokemon materials. And if you want to get a hold of lots of materials, you will have to battle all kinds of Pokemon. Oh man, just when I was about to suggest we do some hands-on practice to really drive the point home. But I guess we'll never ever got on to have the time. Class is over for now. Take care, you little rascals. Time for art with Hassel. Hello class, it is I, Hassel, yet again. I'm pleased to say that everyone did well in their midterm exams. As a reward for all your hard work, we have a special guest visiting us today. Now then, Brassius, please come in. Greetings. I am Brassius. I am an artist, and I focus exclusively on grass-type Pokemon for my work. Brassius here mainly creates three-dimensional pieces, such as statues and the like. One of his major works is the illustration titled The Surrendering Sunflower, found in Artisan. Many of you who have challenged the Artisan Gym have no doubt our familiarity with these sculptures. Yes, I do recognize some of the faces among your students. I believe Brassius will say this if you took on his gym before doing this class. I hope you all understand how fortunate you are to be able to attend in Hass's class. Old Hass is a man who saved me when I had lost all hope and given up on myself. But he never gave up on me. I do not exaggerate when I say that he is my mentor in life. It is precisely thanks to Hass that I was able to establish my current art style. Ah, dear Brassius. I have nothing against reminiscing about old times, but today I hope you would guide this class in a way only you can. Of course. Let's see. Why don't we discuss what Hass mentioned? The Surrendering Sunflora. Can anyone here tell me what my mood was when I crafted its detached expression? A sad mood? No, no, no! Completely, utterly wrong! When I made that sculpture, I had surrendered all hope. I was prepared to give up everything. I had resolved to giving up my life as an artist if that piece did not receive proper recognition. Or concredition, I mean. Hence the name Surrendering Sunflora. That's exactly it, Hass. When I started out as an artist, I experienced many hardships, and I even became deathly ill and fell into a slump that drove me into depression. I began worrying about what would sell. I was concerned only with fame and fortune. But all of my pieces during this time had no depth. They were all shallow trash. It was then that I met Hass. He helped me realize how petty I was being. I'll spare you the details. But in the end, I was able to leave all that behind. And that also is when I crafted the Sunflora. Remarkable! Even I did not know the full story until now. This is the kind of thing it's hard to tell someone, especially when they are so close to you. Now, I don't doubt that you aristocrats will often find yourselves headed into the crowds with worries. My advice is to you is simple. Be honest with yourself and do whatever your heart desires. So long as you don't cause trouble, that is. That is all from me. I must admit, I'm beginning to feel a bit embarrassed, so I bid you farewell, Hass, and farewell to your pupils as well. Oh, Brassius, I cannot believe it. Such a wonderful class. Thank you so much! And he has a breakdown. Let's go into Art 5. Hello, class. It is I, Hassel, yet again. First, allow me to apologize for losing my composure during our last class. I was so touched by Brassius' story that I simply couldn't contain my emotions. I am sorry for making such a scene. I certainly got very stemmed talking to Miss Trime after the class. Yes. Anyway, let us shift gears and dive into the material for today's class. Now, have any of you heard of the 10 sites of Paldea? As the name would simply imply, there are 10 sites in the Paldea that are considered practically beautiful. Among them, I would say, is that of the Grand Olive Orchard. It is likely the most accessible. You can see fields after fields of olive trees from the hills all on the way to Colorado. 2 waterfalls are also counted among these 10 sites, Fury Falls and Castle Royal Falls. Then there are the peak of Gracio Mountain, known as the Paldea's highest peak. There's another cliff on Gracio Mountain that's named after a rather unique shape. So, let me ask you, my students, what is the name of these three-pronged cliffs on Gracio Mountain? Grecio Mountain that needs grasp as straws. That would be... I need to make sure I'm reading this right. Gracio's grasp. Exactly. It's like a hand taking hold of something, doesn't it, Donnie? The three-pronged cliff on Grecio Mountain is known as the Grecio Grass. Though its shape is far too sturdy to be that of a human hand, I imagine someone thought of it. It looked like a Pokemon's hand grabbing something. There's also the mountains in the area free of East Province, where you can get a good look at Levincia. It's practically gorgeous at night. In fact, the view is so brilliant, it is also known as the billion-volt skyline. I hear it's quite a hotspot for dates, and drastically so for having such a romantic view. I imagine it's, what do the kids say these days? Very, chic selfie spot? Of course, you may feel that not all 10 sites live up to their grandiose names. How often do we visit some tourist spot only to be disappointed? Not to say that you shouldn't visit them, they are only that you should keep your hopes in check. The important thing is to go yourself and see them with your own two eyes. And sometimes a disappointing experience can be worthwhile in its own way. Take a chance. Well, that's it for today, class. I thank you for your attention. Time for our last set of classes, home ec. And we'll go see all the teachers. Put away your smartphones. It's time to begin class. Though some of you had to retake the midterm exam multiple times, I'm glad to say that the majority of the class passed without issue. I feel honored to see that the knowledge and skills are indispensable for daily lives have taken root in you all. In all of you. I trust that you will all work just as hard on your life skills in the second half of the course as well. Let us now turn our attention to the topic of the day, which was simply inspired by a question I received on the subject of meal powers. The student who asked this question is a young man who enjoys the culinary arts. He told me that a regular research culinary techniques on his own and pays careful attention to the ingredients he uses. He also spends day and night studying all aspects of culinary arts. Yet despite this, he is baffled by his inability to increase the effectiveness of his meal powers. So tell me, Master Donnie, since you do quite well on your midterm exam, what should this young man do to increase the effectiveness of his meal powers? Arven? He should make food with other people. Perfectly correct. I see that you are knowledgeable about the culinary arts. To increase the effectiveness of meal powers, your sandwiches must be filled with many different ingredients. For a single person, they may prove difficult, but if you prepare a sandwich with others, you will be able to handle a much larger serving of bread. With a larger base to start with, it becomes quite simple to add more ingredients to your sandwich, which in turn makes it possible to receive meal powers of increased effectiveness. This applies more broadly as well. With dealing with a difficult issue, working with others to solve that issue may be the best course of action. I'm sure Arvin would likewise work with friends to craft his sandwiches in future. I also love that if you pay attention, you'll see Arvin in the class and you can see an exclamation mark appear on his head. The identity of the male student is a matter of privacy, so I would ask you to do not pry too deeply. Our time together has come to an end for today. I bid you all farewell. Da da da. Let's take home ec. Class will begin. Put away your smartphones. It's time to begin class. While you are out performing fieldwork with one of your Pokemon walking alongside you, have you ever noticed changes in its coloration? Now, I don't mean that it suddenly becomes a shiny Pokemon or any nonsense like that. I'm speaking of becoming filthy! Pokemon battles! They get hurt by using moves against them. They get battered by the wind and rain and get covered in sand and dirt. They get, in a word, filthy! I have seen many of a trainer walking about with their adorable little Pokemon without addressing this issue. It is deplorable. Let me ask you this question for someone who I am sure has not tolerates such shameful conduct. Ah, yes, Master Donnie. What should you do if your Pokemon is dirty? Pat it on the head, do nothing, clean it up. Perfectly correct. I knew I could count on you to provide me with such an answer. When your Pokemon are dirty, clean them. This is, of course, simply common sense. While you're having a picnic, you can approach the Pokemon on your team to perform a variety of actions. One such action is putting them through what I would like to call Pokemon Wash. In other words, you are able to clean them up. You will start by getting your sponge lathered up in soapy bubbles. So as you gently and carefully scrub your Pokemon, once your Pokemon is nice and covered in soapy bubbles, the bubbles will encapsulate the filth. Then you will simply wash it away with a spray of water. This will get your Pokemon clean and shining bright as a Terrajewel. This is certainly quite a bit of work, but this also restores HP and cures status conditions. However, some Pokemon may have parts of their bodies they don't want scrubbed or that they rather not get wet. Be sure to keep this in mind when cleaning your Pokemon. Now, the most important point that I would like to mention is that some Pokemon liked to be dirty. Though I will contract myself by saying this, please do remember that cleaning your Pokemon is not always the kind of thing to do. Our time together has come to an end for today. I bid you farewell. Alright, let's go around seeing the teachers. Let's start with the cafeteria. Donnie, you scared me! Were you cooking something? Oh no, I'm not here for anything food related at all. I was just walking around the entrance hall, and I felt that intense gaze that I told you about before. So I quickly ducked into the cafeteria here. Our cafeteria has only one entrance, so I thought I might be able to discover the identity of the person watching me if they followed me in here. Ah! Someone come just now. Huh? That's weird. I thought I saw her come in here. I guess I won't be able to ask my question today either. That girl. I feel like I've seen her several times before. She seems to be a student here, but I get the feeling that her question is not about her studies. Next time I see her, maybe I will go up and start up a conversation myself. It would have been very scary being here on my own. I'm glad you were here with me. She trusts us more. But Donnie, feel free to ask me any questions anytime. Let's get some food while we're in here. Let's have the 5 alarm. Alright, let's go see the next teacher. Biology. Oh, my dear Donnie! Thanks to your advice from before, Pomai is, well, I'll just see for yourself. It seems very quiet. Yes. Yeah, it is a feeling better, but this particular Pomai, I may just be a bit bleak, I suppose. I just had Nurse Miriam take a look as well, and she says there's nothing wrong with it health-wise. So it shouldn't have any injuries, ailments, or the like. Even so, it never utters so much as a cry, which is odd. That part has even Mr. Jock here stumped. I'm sorry that I couldn't be of any help. Not good give us! Don't worry about it. I have some more information now, thanks to the Academy's security cameras, though. It seems Pomai was attacked by a wild Pokémon and fled here to the Academy grounds. Maybe it's still in a bit of shock from that experience and can't bring itself to speak yet. Yep, if that's the case, then that's absolutely no problem with keeping quiet. Pass during promenade. We can just Atari wait, that is, until it feels like talking. That's all we can really do, really. Even if you can speak all sorts of languages, there's no guarantee that you can understand what's going on in someone's heart. But have no fear, I won't give up. No, I will keep on trying until we figure each other out. We trust Salvador more. Bobby doing great. It's just a bit of a quiet one. Ooh, Jock wants to see us. I presume we've completed enough for the Pokédex for a reward. Ah, hello, Donnie. I see you've already rescued 200 species of Pokémon in your Pokédex for me. Wow! Pokémon from the mountains, Pokémon from the sea. Wait, what? No way! You have found Pokémon in a place like this? Ah, sorry about that. I got a little excited there. My Pokémon research is moving along super duper splendidly thanks to you. Here, take this. Consider it my way of saying thanks. Get 20 quick balls. You are a born fine Pokemon on catching professional, Donnie. For your next goal, it's finally time to go for a complete Pokédex. Aim for 400 species. This is no easy feat, but I'm sure you can do it. Keep tossing those Pokeballs. Don't give up. So he will not give us another reward until we complete the Paldean Pokédex. That is naturally going to take a long while. Let's go to the staff room. Ah, Master Donnie. There's something I would very much like to ask for your help with. You need my help? Well, you see, I do not want anyone to overhear this, but I heard rumors of an incredibly sweet continent that exists somewhere in the Paldea region. I absolutely must experience this Ambroso sweetness for myself. You are the only one who knows of my insatiable sweet tooth. Alas, I have no one else I can turn to for help in this matter. I cannot go looking for this condiment myself. Oh, at least I destroy the image the students have of me. I will repay you for your troubles, of course. Give it some thought, if this piques your interest. In the meantime, I will gather what information I can about this incredibly sweet continent. I will share what I find with you as soon as I have more detailed information. Alright, let's go to the director's office. Ah, Master Donnie, how kind of you to stop by. I must say I am pleased to see you on the school grounds again. Travel and adventure certainly has their place, but it does one good to attend class as well, no? Speaking of, there is something I would very much like to ask you. I understand you have joined a variety of classes during your time here at the Academy. But if I may ask, which of our faculty members have made you the most favorable impression on you? I would say Mr. Jock. Oh ho, Mr. Jock from the biology class, you say? Yes, he is a fine teacher and the most earnest and hard-working fellow. We are truly blessed to have so many wonderful teachers and staff members at the Uriah Academy. I firmly believe that our faculty here is second to none in their commitment to our students' ongoing education and well-being. Thank you very much for sharing your thoughts, Master Donnie. We've become closer to Director Clairville. To the nurse's office. No way! No way! No way! Come on, Miriam! Just try it! What's wrong? Oh, great timing, new kid! Nurse Miriam here won't try the sandwich I made. Well, duh! I don't want to get a stomach ache. You won't, probably. I still remember that sandwich you made me with the meat filling and meat for bread. That one really messed me up bad. I hadn't trained in the arts of sandwich making yet back then. I was young and thoughtless. And... young and thoughtlessness? It was last month! So, you can see that I'm not getting anywhere trying to persuade her. Even after I went through that intense sandwich making training, it kind of makes me sad. She went through intense sandwich making training? She worked really hard on it. I guess I have no choice if you got one of our cute little students on your side. So fine, I'll try your sandwich. Let's see it. Yes! I knew you'd come around. Here it is. It's a little strongly flavored, but guess it's not bad. Woohoo! My training paid off! I'm so glad my sandwich. It pleases the great Nurse Miriam. I look up to you, you know. Thank you for trying it. And thank you too, new kid. And she's run off again. That was so weird. But that's just how Miss Denia is. I guess she's always coming into the nurse's office with some injury or another too. Alright. I believe the last set of teachers we need to speak to are in the entrance hall, which is 3 of them. Then we'll be able to end the episode. Let's track them all down. Oh, hey, Donnie. Sorry, were you looking for me? I've been away from the nurse's office lately. Did you need anything from me? Yes. Are your Pokemon hurt? Just a sec. Here you go, a little first aid. You must really be having an adventure out there, judging from those scrapes and cuts. Huh? Oh yeah, I guess it is pretty unusual for me to be out at the nurse's office like this. Well, I'm actually doing a bit of studying. I thought I'd try my best at the health teacher certification exam one more time. You can do it! Just so you know, it's totally not because I'm inspired by a certain someone working hard at their treasure hunt, okay? Well, maybe I am just a little bit. So, you know, thanks, yeah. Uh-oh, my break time's almost over. I know you'll be cheering me on, Donnie. Trust Nurse Miriam. I just need to make a quick cut here, so, be right back. Okay, sorry for the cut. Let's finish up speaking with the teachers. Oh, why hello there, young Donnie. I'm sorry, I was lost in thought and didn't notice your approach. I feel I must again apologize for what transpired in the schoolyard. It didn't bother me. Huh, that's very magnificent of you, Donnie. Of you. That woman who showed up is a dragon tamer, and a relative of mine, I might add. You see, I come from a very long line of trainers who specialize in dragon-type Pokémon. There was a child in our family who was expected to stand at its head and lead it to greatness. But the young lad, rebellious little fellow that he was, ran away from home one day. He made quite a show of it too, swearing he do make a living with music. A lot happened since then, and now he's the art teacher and Elite Four member before you. After I so rudely took my leave during our last conversation, my dear relative encouraged me to give up teaching and return home at last. I've been told that the current leader of my family, that is to say, my father, is in poor health. Oh, but I do apologize. Perhaps I am not cut out for teaching after all. What sort of teacher grumbles on and on at his own student? You are a great teacher. Ah, my dear Donnie, you have no idea how much your words mean to me. Thank you. Thank you so very much. Oh, sorry, I was lost in thought. Now let's speak with Rufford and end the episode. Why, if it isn't Donnie from Class 1A. Are you perhaps interested in the rest of the old tale I told you in class? Yes. Heh, it's convenient that you would take the bait I presented in class. A vassal, a sword, a set of tablets, and a set of beads. After attaining these 4 treasures, the king's castle was destroyed. Why, you might ask? Because these 4 treasures were actually 4 Pokémon. As these Pokémon were passed from human hands to human hands, as treasures, they slowly became tainted by the hubris and greed. Finally, after coming in contact with the rapidity of the king at the time, they awakened as disasters and began to rampage out of control. The king called for renowned Pokemon wielders to defend the country, and after a fierce battle, these incarnations of disaster were quelled. It is said that these 4 Pokemon were then sealed away somewhere in Paldea. So, what do you think? Would you say the story is just make-believe? No. Very astute of you. I have read many historical disaster reports, personal journals, and the like. There is so much to support the truth of this story. If I am able to prove the story is fantasticity myself, I will be sure to let you know. And that is all the teachers. So with that, we'll end the episode here. And in the next episode, we'll get back to our treasure hunt. So if you enjoyed this episode, do like the video as it helps tremendously. Subscribe if you haven't already. Leave a comment down below on your thoughts on this episode. And share the video so that way more people can discover my content, help the channel grow. And I'll see you all next time. Later.